Overconfidence is never a good thing. Never ever a good thing. When the Mexico-England game was about to start, I saw the mien of the Mexico players. They were boisterous, they were overconfident. They were in their home, they were in their great Azteca Stadium. The England boys were subdued. They were determined, but they were subdued. Even when they were taking the team picture, even when they were singing the national anthem, I was watching the whole thing. I was looking at their aura. And I said, these England boys have come and prove people like me wrong. What do you do in adversity? That stadium was unfriendly. The crowd was booing every English song that was playing before the game. They were against everything. The Mexico boys were so sure they had not considered a single goal in the entire tournament. But what happened? England showed their mettle. They showed what they can do in adversity. And Mexico also showed what happens to them when they are in prosperity. Because immediately they considered that first goal against Bellingham, they were rattled and they were confused because they hadn't been in that position the whole tournament. And then before you know it, Bellingham struck again. So the question is, what do you do in adversity? What do you do in prosperity? What to do in prosperity is actually more important, because everyone actually expects adversity. People just have this negative inclination and expect adversity all the time, so they kind of know what to do. But what do you do when you are succeeding? I'm talking about this thing because it's a real problem. France against Paraguay was a real surprise. France escaped by the skin of their teeth. They were overconfident. I sense a lot of pompousness, a lot of arrogance in Mbappe, in Michael Olise. They need to be careful. Because they've been touted as the favorites for the competition, there is a certain attitude that has crept in. That is what crept in against Mexico in this game. England played the game of their lives. They played the games that nobody expected, even from those of us who love them. Their coach was shocked himself at what his boys were able to bring out in the face of a red card, in the face of an unfriendly crowd, in the face of a terrible stadium, in the face of terrible weather. They weathered it and they made it to the quarterfinals. Overconfidence is a problem. Norway knocked out Brazil. Some of it was overconfidence. They felt that Erling Haaland was a tree that could not make the forest of Norway, but it was. Don't be overconfident. Be confident in who you are. Trust who you are. Trust what you are capable of. But let it end there. You have to draw the line. You have to draw the line so that when you are prospering, you know what to do. Adversity is the usual expectation, and there's a formula for adversity. What is your formula for prosperity? Think about it. My name is Buki, and I'm the original Ghana.